Hello, everybody. My name is Ponce, and welcome to another episode of Vast Cuisine Speed Building Mabrika. Today, we are going to be covering up this corner right here by sticking two apartment buildings and a bit of a parking lot. Essentially, this is continuing the idea that I just want to get this coast done. I just want to finish up Roxbury Heights by the end of the year. So right now I just want to do it in chunks. I want to do it in chunks. So we're just going to be situating this inner block. I kind of want to just fill in all of this space here first, and then we'll fill in the coast, which I've already started kind of doing it. So the next video I'll probably do a thank you video where I decorate some of the spaces in the area. But here I am, just situating the extension of that parking lot in the back alleyway. Trying to figure out that elevation because, the dipping in the road a bit, that's kind of making it a little interesting for me to do. It's like I want it to be, even with the next building. But then it's like dealing with the next building's elevation. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Here I am just duping it down one just so that way it's a little more leveled. And here I am just stealing this corner piece because I wanted to continue in that balcony and just drag it all the way down to the next building. So this area is just gonna have that balcony and those patios, just going with that design. Just connecting the balconies to the sidewalk, making it look like it's actually physically there and not just floating. Here I am. I'm thinking of actually separating that hallway. That like balcony, that's kind of why I did that idea. But in the video I don't believe I did that. It's been a few that this area's been like this. I'm just here trying to post something because ADHD brain goes burr and I can't really think of what else to do. Thank you, phone. I'm gonna leave that in there so you guys know what my audio sounds like for my notifications. Yes, I have an Android. Bite me. Who's texting me? I'm not this popular. Oh, it's Gmail. Here I am situating the windows, and I was kind of confused as to how I wanted to situate this because I wanted there to be a bit of unit. So I decided to separate this 3 sections of windows into 2 apartments by just separating it straight down, cutting one of the windows in half. And since this is going to be a very symmetrical building, my only goal was just to get this one corner done, and then that's it. Just dupe it all over and then call it a day. Indeed. That's one that I kind of enjoy about this style because it's like, on certain aspects I can be lazy, and it's like, it kind of gives me like a bit of that vibe. Like I do feel like I'm kind of trying to situate the idea that maybe Malaya was a very symmetrical city and like buildings that weren't as symmetrical or that didn't have like that sense of some symmetry at the time was probably like, uncommon, or like, just didn't look good. Like kind of create everything in that uniform sense. Here I am. I decided to make the inside of the apartments blue, and I also used the same apartment design in the next building over, but there's a bit more units over there, and there's actually another apartment that I'm going to be doing later in the video, so keep an eye out for that. Here I am just separating this unit. It's a very small unit, so I had to get a little creative with how I wanted to situate the plumbing and the kitchen and stuff. So here I am situating the kitchen and the rest of the hardware for the bathroom. But yeah. Here I am situating the kitchen. I decided to do like a galley kitchen when you first walk in, having all the kitchen along one wall, and also I think I might add a little bit of like cabinets on the other side. Unless I don't, then ignore that. We got both apartments done. Now we're just gonna dupe them upstairs, and then boom, now we got the whole building situated. And I just gotta dupe this corner all the way around, and then the whole building's done. This is the only way that I would have been able to do this whole city by myself. Every day I don't go to sleep without thanking the Mojang gods of giving us the structure block, because I remember this one building I did in Celtic where I was doing 20 units, but two of the units were like the size of two, like four of the units were the size of two units, like they were twice the size, and then there was like a whole layer of apartments that just were a little different. And I remember it took me like 45 minutes, like to an hour, to do each apartment, doing them all the same, the same floor plans, everything. It was just insane, and I did that every morning before going to school. I remember I used to get up at like I think I used to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, do my morning routine, and then just like as I was waiting to hit the bus, then I would just do an apartment and maybe start the next one. And I used to I remember when I was doing it, I was curious, and that's the reason why I actually like timed myself doing one of the units. This building I'm kind of a little bit on the fence about. I think I might just open up that corner bit there, but also it's like I think I gotta figure out something to cover it, because one of the sections of the wall is very plain, and it's like the building's pink, so it just looks really out of place. So it's like here I am. I complained about the fact that the building was like a block off of the structure blocks like range. But it's cool. I'm glad that I'm always happy about making progress. So here I am. I did the windows. I'm doing the windows on this back area right here. I actually when I decided to use the apartments of the next door building, I ended up just fixing where the slabs and the wall design decals are, like the window decals are. Because it's like, I feel like when I was doing this one, I kind of just wanted to... I just wanted to kind of tie this whole block together, and I felt like, using the same apartment would have done that. Here I am just leaving room for the lights. Here I am doing the upstairs the upstairs patio ceiling with the lights included. And that's one thing that I kind of did enjoy about doing this area is the fact that I like that there's a lot more of those gradients of the stone blocks. Like I enjoyed the fact that I could have had the darker mosaic tiles next to the 3x3s, like that. Very like I like that a lot with this design. I kind of feel like in future videos of me playing around with this style, I think that I'm gonna use that porch design a lot more. Gives it character, gives it details, gives it texture, and the city needs that. The city really does need that. Here I am, and I realized that I use the same window, so I just decided to go next door and use the same apartment. So that's where that came from. And here you're gonna see in a few that I do actually use the same apartment. But there it is. There's that like awkward wall which I could have pushed it in, but it's like if I did that, then these apartments would have been a lot like one block thinner than the other apartments, and I really didn't want to mess with that. But it's like at the same time, it just looks weird. It looks really weird. Like maybe I could be like, oh, there used to be an extension of the balcony over there, and then in later years, they just close it off so that way they could stick more apartments. Or I don't know. I don't know. And there's the building. Here I am going to that inner corner, getting rid of the structure blocks. And here's the tour of the whole building. I have yet done the hallway or that last two apartments, but here I am doing that now. Situating the stairs, going up. Originally, I kind of thought I wanted to do multiple stairwells in each of the ends of the three wide sections of hallway, and then situate two meeting rooms in this corner for the tenants to use, for them to organize and just let them know that they have a voice. But then I just threw the stairs there, and I didn't feel like adding another staircase after that. But here I am separating those two larger units. They're kind of like 1.5 bed, 1 bath apartments. That's kind of how I would describe them. Because it's like there's a space for a bedroom, but it doesn't have like any windows, so it's like awkward just sitting there. And then you have the living room, which does have the bed, like the windows, and it has a closet, so it's like you could use that as a bedroom. It's like I said in the previous video, I kind of always, when I do an apartment or something, I always try to do one that I would rent or I would be looking for, in real life. And it's like, this one I could see myself making work by maybe doing what I said, using the living room as a bedroom, and then, maybe situating the other room as a home office or something like that. but I didn't, this isn't a thank you video yet, so we're not gonna be throwing any couches or anything. Nobody's getting moved in yet. But here we are, duping the entire apartment upstairs, which the only thing I have to edit is literally just those 2 windows in the living room, and then that's it. And this is the whole building. And here I am just adding another apartment parking lot across the street from the building. It could be used by any of the buildings in the area. I kind of realize that this area is lacking for parking within, like, on either side of this road right here. I mean, granted, they do have that massive parking lot area next to this section, and the parking lot that we use is basically off of that for these like new buildings here. But I still felt like there could have been like a thing, and also some trees. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the past, present, and future, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.